do it. Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the Art of Losing Your Butt and Finding Your Why. I'm Doug.
And I'm Christy.
And this week is going to be something that everybody needs to hear, I think.
Yeah.
With the recent election and results as of today was Returns Day. And when you're seeing this, whatever day you may be seeing it, this is recorded on November 7th, Thursday. So today was the day, Returns Day. And today's episode is about unplugging when you need to.
Yeah.
Whatever that may be. All forms of technology and outside communications. It seems to be that in the past 48 hours, I have seen more people, heard, seen, read about, spoken to more people that need to unplug for a little while than I've ever seen before in my life. All forms of, our phones really are a gift and a curse nowadays.
Yeah.
With social media, 24 hours a day, whenever you want it, and you're scrolling, you could be reading the best of the best things or the worst of the worst things. And depending on what side you were on, we have no political affiliation here, but whatever side you may choose may have gone in your favor or against your favor. But if it went against your favor, people are, a lot of people are really upset and they're voicing their opinions about it. And that's fine and all, but it can be overwhelming,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a lot of people that are very happy now with a lot of people that seem to be on the opposite side and are very upset and even fearful right now. And that kind of makes for a tumultuous time online in a lot of social media environments, even amongst friends and even your family.
Well, and that's kind of like our thing right now, because like you and I were talking earlier,
Yeah.
We both have friends on both sides.
Right.
And we're both very kind of in the middle of
Right.
everything. And choose not to take sides.
Yep.
And so I know it's got to be happening with you too. Like your social media is filled with this side, that side, and some of them are getting intense.
Oh, yes.
And these are people that I've known for 25, 35 years.
Yeah. Even family members.
And family members.
Even my own family.
I can't even go see my mother right now.
Yeah.
I just can't. Because, yeah.
Like I was always taught that in a professional environment, and I kind of go this way too with social media, is, there's always three topics that you just don't really talk about, openly with strangers. And it was always religion, politics, and sexuality.
Mm-hmm.
And, if you choose to bring that up with someone, you should feel really comfortable around them, or at least prepared to have a friendly debate, if they should happen to be on the opposite side of that argument, or, an opposite side to you. But a lot of people can no longer talk openly, honestly, and have just an open interaction back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is what I've seen and this is what I think. Well, this is what I've seen and this is what I think. And kind of coming together, and it's all about finding a common ground.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not that way anymore. People are more divided, it seems, from my perspective, than they've ever been. And I feel like everything is meant to just push everybody further to one side or the other, and it's just not good. And for me, I just walked away from it. It started Tuesday night for election night. I just turned off Facebook notifications, Instagram, all of it, and focused on my real world, relations with people in the gym, at work, with my friends, with my family, with strangers I meet in public. But you know what I mean? Like not turning on the phone, really.
So you didn't do what I did on election night.
I didn't watch the TV. I didn't watch the results. I didn't watch a single minute of any of it. I was on Facebook to post the specials for the next day at work, and I think to respond to my mother about Thanksgiving plan, or my adopted mom, about Thanksgiving plans. And that's exactly, I got off. I said, because I looked up Facebook that night and it was already starting with people that I'm friends with, people that I'm family with, even some coworkers, starting to post some things that were a little bit heated. Some people were posting inflammatory things. And, I'm all about, for the laughs, but you got to be able to laugh at both sides if you can laugh like that.
And I'm all for free speech.
Oh, so am I. So am I.
And so
it was starting to get this shouting back and forth.
I have to protect my own peace.
Yep. Bingo.
Or like I was going to say on election night, I think it was the first time that I was able to actually watch numbers on my phone.
Oh yeah.
Like, so I had the actual app up on the phone
With the updates coming
with
in
the updates coming
every
in. I'm like,
15
oh,
minutes.
it changed. Oh, this changed. Oh, that changed. You
Right.
know, that kind of thing. And it was just interesting to be able to hit on a state and open it up and look at each county.
See what was happening county by county as
Yeah.
the votes came
So
in.
that
Yeah,
is
it's
what
cool.
fascinated me more
Totally.
than even the race did.
Right.
But it became one of those almost addicting to
Right.
the point where before I knew it, I'm like, what? It's been sitting at 93%, you know, for the last 2 hours.
What's going to happen?
Why are they not, you know, processing? They're supposed to work all through the night. And my husband looks at me and he goes, honey, it's 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
Give me your phone. You're going to bed, you know.
Right.
But see that it hit that justice thing, you know.
Right.
I knew that they were supposed to be processing them all night long.
Right.
And that was
Somebody's not doing their job.
Somebody's not doing their job.
Right.
Why are they doing their job? I didn't care about the count. Just that it should continue to go up.
Right. We
It
need
shouldn't
answers.
stop.
We need answers.
Yes.
Here. We need a result, whatever way that goes.
Yeah.
I get that.
You know.
You want to see. You want the answer.
I wanted that. Yeah. I wanted it to be totaled.
Right.
You know.
I like to see something to completion.
Yeah.
I like to see it through to the end. I get it. I'm the same way.
And I didn't because I went to bed.
You have to go to bed.
Yeah.
And that's a situation where you realize that it's time for me to get off of here. You know, if you find yourself staying up too late, if it's 3:00 in the morning and you're sitting there up refreshing the phone for results from, you know, a random county in Idaho, to know if the state's going to be blue or red,
freaking Arizona,
you know, or whatever, you know, exactly. Exactly. And I'd say the biggest one is what she was talking about protecting your peace. If you find your own personal peace being disturbed by events and interactions on social media, as soon as it's starting to really affect your emotions in the real world, like if you find yourself pissed off in an interaction with a family member because of something that just happened to you on social media,
yeah,
it's time to go. It's time to go. Turn that shit off.
Yeah.
Walk away. Give yourself 48 hours. Hell, give yourself 24 hours, because a lot of people nowadays can't go 30 minutes. But you know, you'll find that the more you do it, the more unplugged you can be, and you'll start to like it. You know, I open Facebook for 10 minutes a day, and I really like it that way. You know.
Yeah.
It's very easy. You know, these apps are made to get you, to keep you hooked.
And that's the worst thing, because like having a small business,
right?
And you know, this podcast and everything. I'm supposed to be on social media a lot because I'm supposed to be posting and all that, but I close it down for my own peace.
Yep.
And like it's because I've got friends on both sides. You know, I've got one screaming and crying, and I got other ones. You know, I'm like, guys, you know, we all still have to get along.
Right.
And now, granted, I'm always that weird one that collects friends from all
I got everybody.
all genres of people, you know, and they don't all get along.
Right.
And it's been one of those things where, okay, you know, this group and this group, I can pull them together and we can go do something. And this one, but I can't put this one because, you know.
Right, because of what just happened.
Right.
And that's craziness,
yeah.
you know. I was discussing this with a friend of mine earlier, and you know, I know we're kind of harping on the election day and the results and how that affected everybody, but there's no better example right now. It's very current, it's very fresh, and there's nothing more volatile than that right now. But it was, you know, a friend of mine talking about their family members going at it, and she was speaking about her two brothers and how they're like having words and like not talking over this. And she goes, you two have known each other for 52 years. You two have loved each other for 52 years. You're going to let two people that you don't know personally affect your relationship this strongly. I mean, I know it is what it is. It's your beliefs and, you know, your political opinion. But you're going to let this divide the two of you after 52 years as brothers.
Heck. My mother didn't speak to me for over a year over a disagreement about COVID.
Right. Yeah. People.
And you know, I'm sorry, but I was trying to let her know what I knew. I work in healthcare. I'm out in it every day. Right. They're sitting in their house in their lounge chairs watching one of the news shows all day.
Right. Being told what to believe.
And I'm like, but
This is what I've seen.
Mom, I'm living in it.
Right.
This is what's going on.
Right.
No, you know, okay. It got really nasty between my mom and I didn't speak for a year and a half. I mean, that first holiday back was not good.
Yeah, it's
So
it's scary and it's sad,
Mhm.
you know, because people just shouldn't let that happen. You know, it should never get to that point. You know, I mean, the people that my friends that I can have a conversation about, and because I speak very open and freely about anything. I'm an open book, and I'll tell anybody that. If I know you well enough, I'll speak to you about anything, and I'll give it to you 100% honest how I feel. And my friends seem to be the bunch of people that can talk, and every one of them is every person that's around me is a kind of person that if they said something, and I said, well, here's the fact that shows that that's false, they would go, oh my God, I was unaware. Thank you for this.
Let me see it.
Let me see it.
Let me
Exactly.
read it. How does this, how did they get this wrong?
People can't be open-minded anymore, it seems. And you got to be very careful because it'll affect you. It will. And you got people that are just trying to start a fight. You got people that are just pouring gas on the fire from afar that don't really give a damn anyway at all. They're just there to start a fight. And social media, there's no better place. I mean, they call them what? Oh God, keyboard cowboys. The keyboard warriors. People that talk real tough behind a keyboard. And there's people that people get that way on Facebook. People will be absolutely vicious on social media.
Well, and the funny thing though is I'm a Gen X girl.
Right.
Okay. We live off of sarcasm.
Yeah.
I mean, 99% of the crap that comes out of our mouth is sarcastic humor.
Yeah.
And the younger generations don't always get that.
No.
And that's where we have a problem.
Right.
And
it doesn't translate through text either.
No.
Like when you talk face to face to someone, my sarcasm, you can pick up on some facial expressions. But when you read it in a text, sarcasm may be implied by one person. It could be taken a completely different way by somebody on the other side.
Correct.
Yeah.
And
taken to heart, taken personally.
So I have to be real careful with, what I say because I do work with younger people.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there was something online. This has been a couple weeks ago, and it was a joke, but it was a little. It was like really wrong, but really funny at the same time.
A little dark.
It was a little dark.
A little.
And my comment was, "Oh, that's so wrong." Okay, but it's kind of funny, and I'm like, "Oh, I hope this gets to stay because that kind of humor isn't accepted anymore."
Yeah, some people can't.
And I said, "Actually, it was nice to see it."
Yeah. Yeah.
And that went viral because I had 1.5 thousand likes on that comment.
Right.
And I'm like, that's just sad.
Yeah, people.
And that's when I realized, that's why I don't get on.
Yeah, comedy was always like the one last free space where you could talk. You could joke about, as a comedian, you can generally joke about anything. And it's to be taken as such. And then you hear about, like now people getting canceled. That it's a real thing that people have to really, they can't even take a joke as a joke. They'll take a joke to heart. And it's like, I don't know. I just feel like we're just going backwards here.
Yeah, a little bit.
We used to be able to talk peacefully as adults about anything. We used to be able to have debates, those sort of things. Where people come to a space, as two grown adults and have an open argument conversation with, their sides, try to meet in the middle somewhere or try to persuade, the other of their viewpoint or off of their viewpoint. And I feel like that's just, it all devolves into name calling, slurs, or, something threatening quick. And it's shown, it is not shown faster anywhere else than when it comes to politics and in the past 48 hours, which is why I say, if you feel like you're starting to, if you're on Facebook and you're getting a headache,
Yeah.
or you feel that you get a notice on your Fitbit that your pulse is up, 10, 15%, or your heart rate's high, or, your
Mine has
blood
a stress
pressure's been
monitor.
high. Right. Your
Yeah.
stress level's
My
up.
stress level went up.
Right.
Yep.
Your blood pressure's a little higher today for no apparent reason. Yeah. Consider taking a break.
Yep.
What's it going to hurt you? Walk away for 24, 48 hours, and come back.
Remember what's important.
Limit your time,
Mhm.
remember, that you have other things to do. Give yourself 5-10 minutes for Facebook or for your social media, and then get out of there, because it's very easy now to get yourself into this.
Yeah.
So much so that they've named it, doom scrolling.
Yeah.
People getting in a thing where they're just on their phone for hours without realizing it, just blowing time away.
Mm-hmm.
Reading the next, in the next inflammatory, outrageous, upsetting
And
thing.
that's the funny thing, because I spent Saturday with my daughter. She helped put on a author signing event
Mhm.
up north, and so they had like 22 authors
Okay.
from all over and all different genres.
Nice.
But we did have a lot of smut writers
Okay.
too, and
So really all over.
all over. Oh yeah,
Got it.
everything from real life to fantasy, everything else. So anyway, I was like, it was really, really cool to be in this room, and it was mostly women writers, to be in this room with women that were so passionate
Right.
about what they do. And
Right.
I met them all before the event. We were sitting around and we're all talking and chatting, and you can see where people are, a little more withdrawn, maybe not that social,
Okay.
introverted, whatever. But man, you get them behind a table in front of their books that they wrote, and these people turn into, they just glow.
Talking about something they're passionate
Yes.
about. Right.
And I was like, oh my God, I needed that. You have no idea how I needed that.
Yeah. That's
because part of this whole social media thing with people saying anything and everything that they want, I realized has made me feel like I can't be passionate about things I'm passionate about.
Right. Out of fear.
Out of fear.
I get that.
Yeah. Because my last business was taken down due to social justice, because they didn't like the way I ran things.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't comply to them.
Right.
And that was wrong. They now understand that that's wrong.
Right. You understand that was wrong.
I very much understand.
Right.
Now how I dissolved the business, that was fine. But the thing though, now I'm doing something totally different. But this is my next chapter. This is what I'm actually passionate about functional health, functional medicine, getting back to the root causes of things, nutrition, exercise,
Yeah.
All the things that we weren't taught because we weren't given a user manual when we were born.
That's true. That's true.
And then if you're Gen X, man, we were feral. You raised yourself. So we weren't taught any healthy coping mechanisms.
Right.
And I've apologized to both of my children. My son, not so much, because he's watched me grow.
Right.
And he's watched me develop healthy ways of handling things. But my daughter, I'm like, dude, I screwed you up. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Because I had no healthy way of dealing with this stuff.
I get it though. I get it.
So now she doesn't have a healthy way. So now, I'm trying to show her ways, and she's learning on her own.
Yeah.
Healthier ways to deal with stuff.
Right.
And I'm like, because, boy, Mama screwed up. But I did the best I could with what I had.
Bingo.
I mean, my mother.
Often our shortcomings and our weaknesses get passed on to our children.
Right.
Because you weren't able to teach them, unless you overcame them, and then you can teach your child how that was corrected. But a lot of times, people's weaknesses, shortcomings, opinions, mannerisms, bad habits, get passed on far too easily to their children.
So, I mean, So it was great to see her. I mean, she's
Yeah.
she's in her 30s and she's doing her own thing, and she was the official photographer for the thing, and
Nice.
I was so freaking proud of her. And you know what? That curse I broke, because guess what? I reached out to her and told her how proud I was of her.
Yeah, you're damn right.
You know,
that's the way to do it.
Just
way to do it.
just like I do with my son. So, but it was at that moment I didn't look at my social media the whole time I was there.
Right.
Did I post? Yes, I did.
Right.
Because I was helping them out.
Right.
So I did some videos, some walkthroughs. You know, I was helping some of the authors get stuff up on their stuff.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
But it was also networking for me too.
Right.
So it was kind of like, oh no, I got my phone here.
Yeah.
Right. Let me do this.
But not time spent sitting there
right
scrolling through other people's.
I didn't look at nothing.
Right.
And that was a 12-hour day for me.
Yeah.
I got home, I was exhausted, I went to bed.
Yeah.
So I didn't get online for an entire day.
For me personally, I feel better.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10. I mean, granted, if you know what you're looking for, if you want to watch like a like let's say there's the one group of people on Facebook that post videos of them adopting out animals, dogs specifically, and it's all about the people that adopted dogs with like injuries or ailments, like 3-legged dogs that and it shows how they overcome and persevered through what looks like a debilitating injury, or a cat with only his 2 back legs who's learned to run like a T-Rex. Coolest thing ever. I love that kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff. Yeah, the good things, like seek out the positive.
Right.
Be careful what you're surrounding yourself with, because it will influence you whether you want it to or not. That comes to social media, people, places, things. It'll happen whether you like it or not. You could be the brightest ray of sunshine, but put yourself around 10 negative people all day, every day for a couple weeks. Eventually your sunshine will dim.
Yeah,
so
it will.
Keep that in mind, But that's what I got for you guys this week.
That was it. But you know what?
Stay positive.
Stay positive, hold grace for yourself, and be kind to others.
Amen. Truly. Remember that, there's always somebody on the other side of the table, and they deserve just as much respect and love as you do.
Yeah.
So it's all about.
But you got to show yourself that too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
that's true. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate you. We hope to see you again next week. If you have any questions, comments, if you want to hear us cover any topics, feel free to put some comments down below. Please share this with your friends and family. We'd love you to have them as well. And we'll see you guys next week.
Have a good one.
Have a great one. See
Bye.
you guys.